So I thought I'd make a short video of how to actually access the Chat GPT AI tool with the X19 knowledge base. So when you go to the website, click on the green icon on the left side. You'll have three options: Service Manual, Australian Chassis, and Magazine Articles. So these are all called GPTs. The service manuals have all the Fiat manuals and a couple of electrical manuals, as well as some Weber manuals built into its knowledge base. Australia Chassis is the comprehensive list of all the cars in Australia. You can ask questions like how many yellow ones are there that are Series 1.5 that have CD58 wheels. And the next one is Magazine Articles. These are magazine articles from Australia only from about 1972 till the early 2000s. The magazines are handy because they tell us a history of the X19 in chronological order. So you get a good idea of when the car came out or what colours were available and so on at the time. So now when I click Service Manual, I'm presented with a login screen from ChatGPT. Now you can log in with your email address, or you can use Google, Microsoft or Apple. You can do this for free, but you are limited to how many questions. Once you're logged in, it will look like this. I've got some questions already pre-populated there so you can get an idea of what you can ask, but in this case I'm going to click on the one on the left. And in this case it's asking the question, what is the part number for the tensioner bearing? So it's come back with an answer with two different part numbers for two different models, and you can go a bit further here and ask it like, where can I buy them? It will then do a web search for the part number and it finds where you can buy them from around the world. In this case we've got Midwest Bayless, and if you click on that it will take you to the website directly to where you can buy the tensioner bearing. Another great use is for troubleshooting any problems you may have. So in this case I've got a problem that was presented on Facebook and I'm going to ask it for the answer. So it's going to present a few different options for you and suggest some ideas what you can do. And you may say, well, that's just from the internet, but no, not in this case. If I ask it where it's referencing, it's actually referencing all the manuals that I've loaded into it, not the internet. You can see here it's showing you the actual names of the manuals, and these are the manuals it's referring to that's loaded into the system. So next we'll go to Australia Chassis. So at the time of recording, this particular one needs still some work. It works, but it has some quirks to it still, and that's what I'm working on. So for example, you can click on a pre-populated question, how many are there in New South Wales? Now you notice I didn't put the word how many X19s because it didn't need to know that. It already knew that from before, that it's all X19 base. It's now going to go through the basically the CSV file to check about the actual car itself, and we'll see what it comes back with. And here we go, 218 cars. Now from there you can also ask it a question like how many were code 171, which is the color code 171. So it's saying basically the color code, it thinks it means that column, so it's going to use that column because it wasn't sure what I meant. And this is where I'm still kind of working on the back end for this to work. So we've come up with 30, and from that 30 I can then say, well, how many have CD91 rims? So 16 cars, and there you go. But I could say, of that, how many were 171? So only 4. So get an idea, you can ask it very particular things about the car models. So next we'll go to magazine articles. So this is the magazine section, so I can ask it questions like, what was the cost? And we'll come back with whatever the cost was at the time. And I could say something like, what were the performance stats? The other thing you can do is ask it to summarize information on all the articles. So in this case, I'm going to ask it about the ADR. So when I click that, it will then give me a summary of what the ADR was. So you can see here it's provided information from those articles about the ADR at the time. Now I can also ask it, what is its resources for this information. So you can see here it's got the information from all the magazines that were uploaded, not the internet. So it's got some really unique information for Australia at the time. So for now, there are 3 GPTs that do different things. Eventually they'll be combined into one, but they need training individually. So as you use it, you're probably going to find some strange errors. Take a screenshot, send it to me so I can train it to actually answer correctly. A good example is if you ask it about something in Canberra, it may not understand the word Canberra, but understands the state being ACT. Eventually, it will understand that the two are the same. So give it a try, see what you think, and send me any errors you get. For those of you familiar with ChatGPT, I've also put them into the store or the marketplace. So if you just search for the word X19, you will get the 3 GPTs there as well. Have a play and see what you think, and happy chatting.